Lexi.
And I'm Libby.
And we're from the Lincoln High School Sustainability Council.
We decided that we were sick of using Glad wrap and plastic snap-lock bags to keep our food in, as we knew the plastic was bad for the environment and we wanted to make a change.
Instead, we discovered a solution: reusable honey beeswax wraps. They can be used to wrap your sandwiches so that you don't have to use Glad wrap. So today we've got 3 different recipes that we're going to try and see which one works the best so that we can show you guys how to make them. We'll be using an array of different fabrics which are all 100% cotton. We've pre-washed them so that they're nice and safe for our food.
Recipe 1. We've got the 1/3 of a cup of beeswax and 1/3 of a cup of almond oil in this bowl, and we put it on the saucepan that we're going to bring to the boil so this melts in a nice way.
These will go in the oven and heat up before we put the melted beeswax mixture on top of them. Beeswax can be very flammable, so we need to be vigilant while we're cooking it and keep an eye on it. It's only taken about 20 seconds for all of this to melt.
Now that the fabric is out, we're going to take this out and we're going to paint the back side of the hot fabric with this paintbrush, like so.
Okay, that's working a lot better than we expected. So here we've got a nice close-up of Libby doing some painting. She's just putting the beeswax wrap on top of the fabric.
Here Lexi is putting the beeswaxed fabric back in the oven.
Oozed a lot of juice while it's been in the oven, and it's red. I'm not actually sure why, but...
So she's going to hang.
Looking at the first one, and we're pretty happy with how it's come out, although we have noticed a few big clumps of wax.
So for recipe 2, it's slightly different. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this piece of fabric, which is still 100% cotton, in the tray.
And then it's much simpler. All we do is sprinkle the beeswax grated on top of it. First we're going to try with this amount of beeswax and we'll see how it goes. This is from recipe 2, which we just sprinkled the beeswax on. And the first thing that we've noticed is that it's a lot less pink, so it hasn't leached as much stuff. And we put that down to not having any almond oil in it. This is our setup for recipe 3. So what we've got is an old towel, which we don't mind whether any beeswax gets on it. We've got some baking paper, and then we've got a piece of fabric which we're putting on top of that. When we're ready, we'll be sprinkling the beeswax on it, and then another layer of baking paper, and then we'll be ironing it out to melt the beeswax.
So Lexi's doing the ironing method now.
It looks like it's working really well. Quite happy. Oh, that works really good. Fuzzy bees. So we've finished now, and we've done 3 different types of beeswax wraps.
So our first method was using almond oil and melting the beeswax and the almond oil in a double boiler.
And we actually think this was the worst one, mainly because it does feel really oily from the almond oil.
It just doesn't feel like it would work as well. It might make the food a bit greasy. The next method we tried was the putting the material in a tray and putting the beeswax on method.
We think it worked pretty well. It feels pretty similar to what we shop brought, and it seems to hold its shape.
We think this is a perfectly adequate method. I think this one was the easiest, and
I think it's the easiest as well.
It still comes out with a really successful end product.
Pretty happy.
Yeah, cool. The last method we tried was the ironing method.
And while we had a little bit of trouble at the start, we actually think this ended up being the best one.
Yeah. It does make a few messy edges and it is quite tricky to manoeuvre around and stuff. However, it comes out with a really nice
finish, and it's really nice. It's got a good sheen.
Yeah.
It feels quite smooth.
The side that you're going to put the food on also is not too waxy, so that's a plus.
Yeah. Cool. So overall, we're pretty happy with all of these, and we think they make a really good substitute for cling wrap.
Yeah.
And we just found these recipes online. We literally just searched up how to make your own reusable beeswax wraps. So give it a go. It's super easy, and we've really enjoyed it. Thank you.